Now, I will say this. I do like the blue shading of the wintertime season. However, I'm not too big on everything else about the season. Okay, we have some items here that will probably result in a Frog of Bunwich if I don't use my items intelligently. I don't anticipate us needing silk anytime soon. Oh, I dropped this. Oh, the fish morsel game. The fish morsel spoiling, but that's fine. We can turn it into an egg, and a fresh egg at that. Let's see here. Can we make another pierogi? That would not be ill spent. Okay, we can. Like I said, you can't use seeds as an ingredient, which is fine because it's readily available. And if it was feasible for a filler, then yeah, you would not be in much danger either at all for want of food. Okay, I said I was gonna leave this for a hambat. Let's keep using the hambat that we are using because even now, at this point, it is still better than a spear. Let's make not one, but 2 more hambats. Remember when I told you that bundling stopped spoilage? That's true for the hambat. So we're gonna put those away until we need them for specific fights, or we need an auxiliary one. In which case we have this one over here. Now, something I don't like about this stone, if you'll notice, it's already cooling. Yeah, this thing is rather needy. But don't worry, there's plenty of vegetation out there. You just gotta be careful about what you light with your torch to warm it up and yourself up because fire spreads. Now, let's see here. As of right now, I've been going for 4.5 hours straight. So, if you're watching the Raws, then this is where I'm going to be taking a break for about 20 or 30 minutes. And when we come back, we'll continue on to winter, and we'll see winter through to spring. So, thank you very much for watching. It means a lot. I hope this has been helping you steadily so far. By the way, you're not supposed to, if you're playing along, please don't think you're supposed to keep pace with me. It's just not going to work out that way. You really do need to watch what I'm doing, and then do it. So, if anything, I guess you should technically be behind me, right? A little bit as far as, like, progress. Okay, this is a full stack, so I'm gonna put this down. Okay, so what I'm gonna immediately do is go look for, like, a stray berry bush or some other edible so we can make another meatball out of these ingredients. I'm gonna keep the pierogi out just in case we need it, but it's gonna be for healing. So, oh yeah, sorry, I digress. I was gonna take a break. Okay, hopefully this has indeed been helping out, and hopefully it'll continue to do so when we come back. Before we continue with winter, there's something very important we need to do. Now, whenever you want to craft something that is exclusive to an event, you just need to turn the event on, craft the item, and then it doesn't have to stay on after that. So, how should I say this? There is an unnecessary harder version to the winter boss if you have Winter's Fest on. So make sure that after you make your gift wraps, you should probably just turn off Winter's Fest immediately. You know, it's still not too late. She hasn't appeared yet. Moving on from here. Let's see if I could find some other materials. Now, I should mention that the boss isn't going to spawn until late day 30. So we still have some time. Oh, I should also mention, it looks like the mushrooms should still be growing when they should be growing. So they are a good option for food as well. Or for food fillers. Especially vegetation. Or vegetable filler. Okay, so here are some untapped berry bushes. Alright, now up here you see a spawn of no-eyed deer. These guys are particular to winter. They are not hostile. In fact, if you attacked them right now, they would run off They drop 1 to 2 big meat when killed. But here's the thing. They're going to grow a special item that is necessary for the winter raid boss, pretty much. Oh, thanks for telling me in the future game. Yeah, we got hounds coming in. We should have about 2 minutes till they come at us, so that should give us enough time to reach the beefalo herd. We have another filler. The hounds will pretty much, well, hound you until or unless something else comes up or comes at you. Where are beefalo? Oh yeah, they're up here. Just remember not to panic. Remember where your countermeasures are. In this case, us, the beefalo. The beefalo aren't gonna fall asleep until night falls. But even if they did, oh, they're in heat. Okay, so they're gonna attack anything that's near them anyway. So yeah, when their backsides are red like that, they're dangerous to anybody. Actually, you know what? I'm on a road. Oh look, there's 3 of them. Alright, fine, let's take him for a ride. How do you like that? They aggro to Chester and not the dogs. Actually, one of the dogs just did a very stupid thing and attacked the and immediately fell asleep. You guys are not all that helpful, you know? Oh, there they are. Okay. Seemed like a bit of a fiasco, but they got him. I like how it was 1 hound for a little bit, and then they suddenly attacked me. Or suddenly attacked, sent 3 to attack me. So yeah, if your thermal stone ever reaches neutral temperature after being hotter or colder, it will lose some of its durability. I wouldn't panic about this too much because there's actually a very easy tool to use to restore it. So anyway, I suppose the good news about having the hounds there is that they gave us more meat, which is always helpful. So here's the thing. Remember I said that there was a area that was very important for winter? And it's the triple Mactus biome that I just hovered over? So here's the thing. During winter, there is a special mob. Any single unit that you see in this game is called a mob. So that very special mob is called the Mactus Camp. During winter, those circling placements that I showed you that said that are going to be important for later, there's going to be an igloo there now. Now, a Mactus camp consists of Mactus himself, who literally looks like a Scottish walrus with a monocle. You'll see when we find him. And he's gonna have Wee Mactus, which is like as his son, I guess. And they have 2 ice hounds that are tamed that fight for them. And we're starting to become too cold. So let's go ahead and ignite this tree. Okay. Let's just go ahead and make some meatballs. We have extra meat for us, and we're gonna have even more later. I don't plan on using too many more of these. It's just really nice to have this the advantage of having this crockpot boom. So you can sort of see it as sort of a portable workstation, or one that you can reach later. Something I will say right now is we're going to need a full handbat for this. So we'll be using this one, and we're probably going to be tossing the other one away. Which is to say I'm going to put in Chester, so that turns to rot, so we can use the rot later. Okay. Now here's something that I like to do when fighting Mactus. I should also mention that you're going to want some healing items, because you are going to take damage. And then we should also probably have some more football helmets, just in case. It's always good to have more armor than what you need, because this is how it works. If your armor breaks, if it's in your inventory on your person, it will swap it immediately for your new one. That also being said, this is not the same thing with weapons. If weapons run out of durability, you have to physically, you know, re-equip it. There's probably a mod out there for it, but it's not something even I use. But I digress a bit. We're going to want, I would say, 3 healing items. Mech Tusk can hit for a good amount of damage. Plus he has, you know, hounds. So it's a bit of a... You can still be a bit of a nuisance. I'm actually going to keep the trail mix out because I want to heal with that first, since it's the lesser of the 2 healing properties, being 30 instead of 40 like the brogies. Okay, so here's how this is going to go. They tend to patrol around their igloo, and they seem to always be attracted toward the player's position. This does not mean they're aggro to you, but they are going to when they get close enough. That also being said, something that's very important to note is that McTusk is aggressive against any other unit. So these Talbird nests, and even this one to this one, as we go up there, we're probably going to be taking advantage of a situation of them fighting these Talbirds. In fact, they already killed the hounds. Well, question. I don't know if you can answer, sir or madam. Oh, never mind, he's down here. Well, that was a little anticlimactic. McTusk is dead. By the way, when you have a piggyback, the kiting method is one hit, go away. You wanna know how I know he's dead? Because this is his hat right here, and that's also his dart. So yeah, this is one of the 2 main items that you want to fight him for, is the Tam O'Shanter. Why is the Tam O'Shanter good? Because look at my sanity. It gives a very high positive sanity aura. Yeah, it's just really useful. Well, that was a bit anticlimactic. This one has 1 Talbird next to it, so I'd have to imagine that perhaps they aren't all dead over there. But anyway, let's just reap the reward, shall we? Also, what's good about the triple McTusk biome, it has enough minerals around it, so you want to harvest those in time as well. Since we come over here so often, actually... Here, where's our... We don't have one yet, do we? Okay. Now, they go inside their igloos at dusk and don't come out till morning. But if the hounds are outside, they will still react to them. So they'll come out during that point. Well, color me surprised. This is what the visual effect looks like when it's too hot around you. And honestly, during winter, this is a good thing. So put our tools in here. Honestly, we're gonna hold on to these. Now, what's good about this is that we have a chance to collect some more charcoal while staying warm and heating up our thermal stone. But I digress. Let's go ahead and check out this second igloo. It's always good too, and the hounds are dead. If the hounds are dead, they're not going to come out if they are alive. I should also mention that McTusk is a ranged attacker. He uses the blow dart, which is what he drops here. So, yeah. He has a tendency to hit and run, like a coward he is. You know what? I guess we can just drop this. What's good about Ice Hounds and subsequently Firehounds is that they have a chance to drop a gem of that color. The other Mectus camp is up here. That's why it's called the triple Mectus biome. There's 3 of them. Just gotta keep an eye out for where he shows up. This is what's called the stage set piece. It's really, right now, it's mostly just for lore and backstory of things. It does get you a useful blueprint for something, but that's nothing you really need to focus on right now. Okay. Well, while we're out here, and while we're waiting for day to roll by, you can always wait for do some mining. The other one should be over here somewhere. Like I said, I try to stay on roads. But I will say another passive thing that I haven't mentioned already from the... if you're just watching the raws and not the edited video, I did mention in the introduction to Winter, is anything that rots at 25% less while outside of an icebox even. So our Hambat is... In other words, everything gains 25% freshness. Where is this other Mectus camp? It's gotta be over here. It's over. There's one in the quarry section, there's one in the grass section, and then there's one in the savannah section. It should be. Yep, here it is. Okay, we gotta be ready because for one, it's night. You know what? Maybe we should wait for. Yeah, let's wait for morning. You know what? Maybe we could fight out here. So the biggest killer of anything in a game like this is impatience. So you know what? Well... Okay, let's make ourselves another torch. Light this stuff on fire, giving us a viewpoint, because this is going to go over fast. When he comes out immediately, I'm going to use the pan flute to put him to sleep. And this is the strategy for fighting Mectus. Because as a player character, when you kill... oh, by the way, hi Pangles. When you kill Ice Hounds, their first dose will make you... their first hit will like put ice coverings over you, and the next one will freeze you. But because you're a player character, you freeze faster. You unfreeze faster. Now, unfortunately, that Mectus didn't give us what we were looking for. What we're looking for is a tusk. I know it seems rather heartless and callous, but... trust me, these guys started first. Now these pangolins came out, and the best thing to do to fight them down is while they're sleeping. Because if not, they have a herd mentality and they'll attack you, so be careful of that. Meantime, I'm just putting all these stuff away. Okay, I put them on normal or default, so I believe it will take 5 days for them to respawn. So here's what I will say. If in the next 5 days they don't drop at least one of what I need them to drop, then I'm going to start rolling back until they do. Because we need at least one walrus tusk. Maybe 2. but we shouldn't need more than that. Now, we'll say something that's also advantageous about the Tamo Shanter is that it provides additional insulation. Insulation also depends on, you know, your thermal stone not losing its heat, so this is doubly valuable. This is a tier 3 spider den, so let me show you how to fight tier 3 spiders. First thing I'm gonna do is lose my backpack. The second thing I'm gonna do is put my helmet armor on because don't trust this game. You lead them away and don't walk into an attack like that. Okay, that was just silly. So pardon me. I got caught up in explaining some things. Okay. Good news is they do provide self-healing a little bit. Yeah? Okay. Put your armor on. If you're wearing the piggyback, put it down so you have maximum speed. You come up to the edge here, let them aggro onto you, lead them away, and what you're gonna do is double back, hit, move, hit. Well, they were supposed to be, they were supposed to flinch there. Doesn't always happen, but that's fine. We have 3 or 4 rounds of this. Hopefully this will work out fine. Hit, move, hit, done. Another attack. There you go. That's how it's supposed to go. Okay, so now what's left is going to be the one warrior. I tried to dodge it, but yeah, the webbing obviously slows you down. Okay, well that's a tier 3. That's a tier 3 spider then. Mostly fought them for silk. Now, if you'll notice, the tier 3 spider den dropped spider eggs. Like I said, you cannot make spider dens, but you can relocate them, which is what I didn't get to saying. It's another reason to put the Tamo Shanter on. Tamo Shanter is valuable because it has enough sandy aura, it offsets the negative sandy aura of dusk. Something you'll also begin to notice, like I said before in the settings section, is that the parts of the day are shifting. We have a longer night in winter. We're gonna have a longer dusk in spring, but we're gonna have a very long day in summer. Let's see here. We may have to bundle some things up just to save in on space. We don't need the spider eggs, really, so never mind. So this is all about survivability, and we're talking about basics. I was also debating how much we want to focus on farms and efficiency. We are going to be making some farms, but I'm not sure how advanced that would be. In other words, like having a berry farm and having these other resources as farms, small ones, is obviously very important. I'm not sure why this gobbler just came out of nowhere when they're supposed to be out for dusk, but maybe that was the point. But I digress. Okay, what I wanted to do is I wanted to build a fire pit over. Oh, shut up! I'm not near your nest. Anyway, if you feel confident enough taking it upon yourself, you actually do want to be on the move during winter. But what I wanted to do is, let's see here, what's the orientation at? Should be right. Okay, it looks like the in-between of these mech tusk camps is over here. So let's go ahead and make us a, not a base, but more like a checkpoint, for want of a better term. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and make ourselves Actually, you know what? We have a crock pot right down here, and it's not too much of a walk. Let's do that. Okay, fine, I'll say it. We make a mini outpost. Outpost, there we go. That checkpoint. Outpost. Provides warmth, provides food, provides a chance for food, because if you remember the tall Scotch eggs recipe, that is so incredible. Some make color broken. You don't have to chase them down, it's just if you don't have to worry about them, because if you don't chase them all the way down, they're going to persist until light. And since we do not have light for a while, yeah, I'm not gonna really want to put up with that. Don't forget to pick up your charcoal as a reward. I know people's opinions on this are going to vary. I know it's rather atmospheric. I'm not too big of a fan of all of this not being able to see. I mean, there is an item out there that exists that could alleviate this, but I do believe that its acquisition is advanced. Because it requires you to delve into the caves. This just suits my purposes more because, again, I was really torn on whether or not to go into the caves as much as Warley, or for the Warley walkthrough. Now, this deciduous biome should also have... It should also have a... Come on, find your words. It should also have a sinkhole. And the reason we want to go down to the different parts of the cave is because, again, at every opening in the cave, at every sinkhole, you'll find starting items, and you'll also find light bulbs. And, I left my light bulbs at home. So, I'm gonna have to check that out. Let's fill this up for now. We have our thermal stone heated up. So... let's go a little bit exploring. It's going to be daybreak soon, so it's not too much to go out early. Now that we have mapped some things out along the road, the next thing to do is to go out and traverse, you know, further to fill in the gaps, fill in the blanks, where everything is. So yeah, great part about being Wilson is how useful he is during winter. If you manage to get the Tam O'Shanter with his full-grown beard, you're in a really good situation for winter. Not that any other characters can't actually do this, it's really good. But yeah, it's just really optimal this way. Okay, the penguins are neutral, but if you attacked them, they would get hostile. So it's something important to watch out for. And like I said, thankfully, the mushrooms do grow, so they're great for filler for for meatballs. I was thinking of something else. You can tell they also sound like a certain Mario character. Hey, look! A suspicious dirt pile. Okay, so this is called a hunt. It's a little hard to see, but you see the paw prints leaning out this way. So what's going to happen is this. It's sort of a game of hide and seek. You're going to keep going along the path where the toes are pointing. And anywhere between 6 to 12 times suspicious dirt piles, it will take for you to find the animal at the end of this road. They don't disappear immediately, but there is a little bit of a timer on it. You got like a solid minute to be looking for the next one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to intentionally wait a bit more, since I obviously see it over there. Now this is incredibly unhelpful if the hunt leads you into a very cluttered biome, specifically a forest biome, where it really likes to intentionally hide behind other objects. because of how this game handles its visuals. But I digress. So this is shaping up to be more of... Oh, no. That's pretty good. Okay, so... Isn't it cute? Now, this is actually a winter version of what you would normally find on these hunts. And it is called a winter koalefant. Normally they're called koalefants, but obviously because it's winter... Yeah, you get it. Now, here's the thing about koalefants. They're skittish. So, how do you get them to not be skittish? Well, that's what I was talking about the boomerang. You can use a ranged weapon and aggro them. And that's how you get their attention. So, while I run him around, I want to specify his kiting pattern. You wait for an attack, and then you hit 6 times, and then you move again. That's how it goes. Now, because I have the piggyback on, it was a little bit, I was a little bit too close to some of those. Okay, hunts are incredibly valuable, especially during winter because, well, obviously. But because of the resources that you can still get, just knowing where to get them. So your main sources of food are going to be, aside from stockpiling, especially towards the later half of autumn, is going to be looking out for hunts and making sure you explore your world and harvesting whatever wasn't harvested before autumn turned to winter. And then, of course, making considerable use of the gift wrap. Now, I'm a little bit surprised because I haven't found the sinkhole yet. I think I think I also like the filter least in winter for dust because it's so dark on my monitor, on my TV screen right now. This is probably going to go bad, so I'm just going to eat it for all of its worth. The trail mix is definitely useful in certain cases, especially after fighting the spiders a little bit. But just in case you find yourself fighting a bit earlier, I'm so used to incredibly long years. While we're searching for this sinkhole, I could probably talk about this. You also want to be careful what trees you light, because you honestly don't want to burn away too many of your foliage too much, especially if you're playing a survival map. Reason being that in survival, these pangolins might accidentally die. Oh no, they know to go away, never mind. While we're looking for this sinkhole, I might as well talk about this. We got 12 days left of winter, we got about 6 days left until the boss shows up. Also, by the way, I will mention that you want to take advantage not to get so close that you see the fires on the bottom of your screen. Stay close so that you intentionally gain more heat to where your character is sort of like overheating. And this is actually a very good state to be in. This is sort of like the warning sign that you're starting to overheat. Likewise, the cooling one is going to be quite the opposite. Okay, here's the sinkhole. I knew it was around here somewhere. Oh, maybe I just didn't notice it. Okay. Oh, I don't have one. I was gonna ask where my pickaxe was. Oh, I think we used it up, right? Here are these bats. Let's just take care of them. Try to stay around the light, because obviously you don't want to go too far out. Okay, what do I not want to take down with me? Oh, I can't take the eyeball down with me, so... Oh, there was more bats over there. Yep, see, this is exactly the purpose of having armor. You don't have to sweat being hit a bunch. Okay, you know what? I guess we'll put the torch down here. Okay. So before we lose any more fuel, let's head down. This vignette's the 10th anniversary of the game. Very nice. Okay. Well, without getting too explorative, because I don't want to push that in any way. Shoot. See, even with the piggyback, I'm kind of strapped for space. Okay, let's think of things to put away for later. We're definitely gonna put this away. I'm gonna put... I'm not sure how often we're gonna recross bats. I'm gonna leave 2 out, and I know that doesn't save us any extra space, but all the same. I don't think I'm gonna need too many more... flants. I know this is the other hand bats. We do want to keep collecting... we do want to keep collecting shrooms. Oh, hello, I didn't notice it. The pickaxe is right there. Oh, shoot. We are definitely gonna come across some more monster meat, but you know what? Fine, for sake of conservation. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, well, we absolutely need to refuel these. So we're gonna be ducking in and out of a few sinkholes to acquire some much-needed light bulbs. And wow, this sinkhole's not very helpful, is it? There's like, what, 3 light bulbs around here? Or... Okay, 4. Better, but still. It's pretty much gonna need all of this fuel. Yep. Well, that was something. Well, I did promise we would stay near the entrance, but I'm not gonna... Let's be fair. You're not gonna die as soon as you leave these thresholds or be immediately attacked. It's nothing that strenuous. I think it's the overall instance of the caves that's very off-putting to people, players. And with good reason. It really is much. It really does deserve a more, you know, advanced scenario. Case in point, in Warley's walkthrough, what I was gonna do even for, my gosh, beginners, and I stopped to think about it, and how this series became more and more of a honest plausibility to just do it, was asking players to go into the caves and just play, you know, the long game. Okay, well, we're gonna want to warm up a bit more. Something to also be careful of is, even though you will want to wear the Tamo Chancer to keep warm and to keep your sanity up, remember, the football helmet is a helmet space, so you gotta make sure you switch onto it before you might get attacked, otherwise you're gonna take full damage. So yeah, that strategy of purposely overheating lasted us pretty much a whole day. It doesn't need to actually straight up last you a whole day. Wow. And a whole day. Sorry, I've been at this for 5 hours. Well, I am going to want these Hound's Teeth because of what we're going to be making, and I do believe it absolutely falls under basics. Okay, Chester, what do you have in you? So I can... Okay, you do have space for a tool. Actually, I have Hound's Teeth in you, don't I? Yeah. Okay, that's where we keep them. Here's something I will also mention that's going to be very important to harvest during wintertime. And this should be rather unsurprising, but yet also surprising as well, because we haven't mentioned it up till this point. It's ice.
Ice? Ice? You mean winter as in igloos and Eskimos and penguins and ice?
Well, yes indeed, the very same ice. Ice that we're collecting right now. Okay, this Catcoon is very foolish. By the way, how are you killing these things and not getting attacked? These things hate everybody. They have a herd mentality, you're proving me wrong. Is this Catcoon just, like, farming them for me? I have not had this before. Though, to be fair, I've never been in the I've never been in the deciduous biome in winter. Nor did I have pangolins spawn in during this time. Huh. I mean, I'll take the free eggs. And the drumsticks. I am so surprised that the penguins don't aggro to him. What is this? This is double standards. Okay, there's like 3 of them, right? Here, watch, I'll attack one and they'll attack me. Well, I mean, if there is more than one by the time is it. Okay, that's the same one that was being attacked. I didn't mean to attack the cat kid. Okay, you know what? They must have switched something in between updates. I was certain they had a herd mentality. Well, anyway, I still feel it's best to deal with them while it's at night when they're sleeping. Anyhow, I digress. Okay, we are in a good problem because we're gonna want space for some food here. Okay, let's not get too overly attached to some stuff. We can just put stuff down. Although, admittedly, now that I put the rocks down, we can just call that bait. Because, let's talk about the moleworms then. The moleworms, they do eat minerals, rocks on the ground, stuff like that. And they come out of these burrows. That's also effectively their spawner. So as long as you can kill them, just as long as these burrows are around every few days, after a few days pass, they will spawn a new one. Simple as that. So yeah, you can actually bait them with purposely putting like minerals on the ground. I think they was going for my gold and my rocks. Not nice. The good news is if they do put something in their mouth and they try to chomp down, you won't immediately lose it. Now this happens to be a very convenient gathering of them. You know, this whole thing is unseeded. You guys saw me generate the world. But you do want to look for openings like this. You know what I'm going to do is, especially how useful it is, I'm going to be repurposing some of this stuff. Or baggaging this stuff. I'm just going to use this small sapling. It's not going to burn very long, but I just need to get some heat back. Okay, how do I want to... Still want to keep 3 out in case. I'm going to keep that out for... I'm going to keep the tall scotch eggs out for the boss. It's because there's 60 healing. We just have a bunch of ingredients. Especially now, more specifically with the ice. Something to mention also, that ice is particularly special during this season in that it will not melt so long as it is winter. I also have this belief that if you were to put something heat radiating, like, you know, the thermal stone next to it or in the same inventory, this is technically your own person, this is technically in your backpack. So if something like that, it'll start melting it a bit. And again, you just want to consider freshness when determining when you use things for ingredients. Okay, I'm thinking what we do next is... maybe we go back to base, drop off some stuff. Yeah, I think it would be best to drop off some things in our ice chest, which may have also... some things may have gone to rot, but that's fine. It's also intentional. Now, it's good that we got 2 gears, because this is just something I do. Oh, I should also probably emphasize as well. The ice isn't going to melt if it's in an ice chest at any point, in any season. So you don't have to worry about that. So I want to probably make a separate ice chest for, well, our ice. My gosh, there's literally another one? How many moleworms are in here? I thought... are you sure this is default? I've not seen so many moleworms gathered together like this. It's kind of silly. that away. Oh, I do have to carry my rocks, don't I? Let's see. How do we want to organize this? Okay, fine. Since we're putting ingredients away, might as well hold out on some of these. Okay, we're gonna head back to base. We're gonna do offload some things. We're gonna cook some things in mass. And I just put a pile of berries away, didn't I? Alright, we'll harvest these another time. Yeah, you know what? On the way down, let's go ahead and reveal some more of this map. Harvesting along the way. Just keep an eye on... Nah, that can go there. Just keeping an eye on our thermal stone. Oh, we just saw it happen in action. Okay, these antlers are literally key to fighting that boss. Just remember where they are. They have a tendency to always start in one, either the mosaic biome or the deciduous biome. They will migrate from one to the other wherever they started in. But the whole point, I think we can do it now. The whole point of meeting up with them and making sure that they grow the antlers is to do this. You need to make them run, and you need to make them run into trees. Now, unfortunately, I'm a bit slow because of the piggyback. And it looks like they just did a great job in avoiding a lot of trees. Okay, good. They're starting to hit them now. Okay. I think this is 6 of them in this herd. Yeah. So once they drop the horns, then it's fine. The horns will go away. They won't be eaten by mallworms. You know what? We're not really doing it this run, or for this example, but yeah, if you want to get those keys for that boss, this is when you do it. That herd will despawn after 5 days of winter have passed, and there's not other special circumstances that have been satisfied. I'll bring up more of that later in the Warley playthrough. So yeah, you can leave these here, confident that they won't go anywhere. So again, if you just know where to look, you're still not short on food. And the biggest deterrent for dealing with winter is, again, that movement. Just realize that, I know it seems a bit of a task, but if you carry a torch, the thermal stone, you get a hold of the Tam O'Shanter, and if you're Wilson, you make sure you have your beard out. You'll be in good situation. Okay, let's look how our icebox is. Oh, these are about to go bad. But they're technically still available, so we'll use these. Actually, no, I'm gonna put these this way. Sorry, I'm a stickler about how I organize things. Sorry. Okay. We can put the ice anywhere, honestly, but for now we'll just put it in here. And we'll slow the program. It's full. Never mind. Okay, well, we'll potentially leave these out here for rot. This is the food that we have. This is things that we forcibly had to bundle, as well as this. Oh, look, there's our other ingredients. And even more ingredients. Thought something was a bit short here. Tell you what. No, not the rock. We have stuff available, so let's go ahead and make another ice chest. I went to the trouble of putting this in there, and now I just wasn't planning on it. Darn. You know what? I'll let you guys make your own creative choices. Because honestly, don't look for me for a basic one just yet. I would look for Jakiosaurus. He makes really useful, for all of his boss runs, really useful basic base layouts for some things. Okay, well, you know, we have the time, so let's go ahead and do this. We have the space, I should say. Okay. Winter Koalefant Trunk or no. This is only specific for a certain weather defying ingredient, for want of a better term. And even though we have access to plenty of boards, especially in the future, it's just one board equals a full ignition of your campfire. So believe me, you're not going to be in want of wood. So if you need to, go ahead and use a board to ignite the fire at full blast. Now here's what I will say: the Koalefant Trunk is extremely useful for cooking. The only time you really need it is for winter wear of, I think, yeah, here it is. Yeah, the Dapper Vest. Oh wait, hold on. Not Dapper Vest. We're in winter, right? Here we go. Sorry, Puffy Vest. Puffy Vest. It straight up helps you against temperature loss, but as you've clearly seen, this is really just more... It's not necessary. Now, I do want to address tents, because winter is a time of, well, long nights. So I should probably mention how sleeping works. Guess we'll put it here. I will make it for the sake of this video because it is a very basic thing that the game, especially in Don't Starve 1, goes over. But I will also preface it with this. Sleeping is not as so unimportant in the game ultimately as to not even be relevant. Not to saying that you can't do it, and hey, if you do it yourself and you like it, I think that's awesome. Because it's another facet of the game that I just feel is so lacking in certain terms, because when it comes to sleeping, you only really need sleeping for healing and or for helping your sanity. But if you know what to do recipe-wise and gathering of your ingredients, you don't have to worry about that at all because the food takes care of all that for you and more. But you know what? Something I was really excited about, if you can tell from my screen on using Wormwood and starting to use him. Actually, he's right. I've only recently acquired him. And him getting a skill tree as the reason I recorded this video was really nice. Oh, that's not something I want to hear. While I'm trying to sleep. Go away. Trying to have a pleasant night's sleep for crying out loud. Okay. But yeah, like I said, the biggest reason you want to be doing this at least once as Wilson is because he has no restrictions. The reason I say this is because the 16 other characters all have pluses and minuses about them. Now, something I also will point out is that at the cost of a slight hunger drain is how you regain your health and your sanity. If health is maxed, it's totally fine. But Wormwood is a character who doesn't heal through foods. So either you do his gimmick of fertilization, and maybe even a little bit of skill tree, or otherwise you utilize sleeping. Another character, Walter, who is supposed to be essentially a Boy Scout, literally, a Pine Tree Pioneer, has a portable tent with him. Now here's the thing though, you can only actually sleep in a tent of any kind, Walter's or a regular one, if it's night. You can't sleep if it's daytime or dusk, and you can only sleep if it's dusk if you have the siesta lean-to, which effectively works the same way, but all the same. Okay, our sanity is maxed out. We're still gonna wear the Tamo Shelter because, hey, it provides warmth. So yeah, I do want to feature this, because I do want a reason. I want a reason for... I know it can't actually be possible, but I do want a reason for all of this stuff. You know? I'm the kind of player who likes to take full advantage of everything that a feature the game can have, even if it's on different multiple characters or classes or builds, what have you. Okay, tell you what. I'm gonna turn the Battlelist wings into eggs. Oh, I should also point out that when your bird in here is not immortal. Yeah, it lowers on its freshness, if you will. The green box is attributed to its health. So you need to feed it periodically. I don't know the exact number. It's got to be like maybe 10 days that you have to make sure they're fed. Now the Koalefant trunk only, well, relatively speaking, recently in the game didn't receive a crockpot decision ingredient. But it involves a fruit called figs, and figs can only be gotten from trees that are in the ocean, so... yeah, cooking them straight up it is. They give a lot of hunger for what they are, just for cooking them. Even more so than meatballs a little bit. But the niches that you have to... well, you have to hunt. Okay, so those turned into rot, which is exactly what we wanted from them. I did want... these are almost... actually, no, sorry, these are done. These are tier 3s. Okay, we might as well harvest them. Yeah, it takes 10 swings. Okay, so here's the thing. You don't ever want to harvest them until they're stage 3 because harvesting them any sooner just wastes your time. Tier 1 and 2 only ever drop either a marble bean in return, or a refund if you will, or in a marble themselves. And really, that's just a waste. You want to wait till tier 3 where they can either drop in a combination of 2 marble beans, 2 marble, or 1 marble bean and 1 marble. But this is how you propagate marble for yourself. I highly recommend it for the basics. Until we... remember that set piece where we got the marble pieces from? Or more marble, where we got more marble from? That we actually, I think it was in... it was in the swamp, I remember, because the tentacle almost hit us. Until you do an advanced method that involves those pieces, this is going to be your mainstay for armor. And honestly, it's fine enough. I actually mentioned that the piggyback has a measure of speed reduction. The marble armor will protect us up to... it will reduce 95% damage taken to us, which, yeah, it's 15 more than the football helmet. However, it reduces our speed tremendously. I think it's 80%. Let me double check that. Please give me a morsel. Good. Each morsel is another meatballs. Well, technically it's marble soup, but I call it marble armor. About the same thing. Yeah, 95% damage reduction, and it reduces your speed by... oh, it reduces it by 30%. Sorry, it feels like a lot more. It feels like 80. I guess it would be down to a small crawl at that point, right? Okay, well, the whole reason we were here in the first place... actually, no, I want this over here. Was to cook up some things. Okay, let's go ahead and reignite this. I'm hoping by the time we head up there that Mech Tusk will have respawned by then. All 3 of them. So we get another shot at well, the Mech Tusk. And trust me, that logic tracks. I'm going to avoid using the green mushrooms as much as possible because they're plus 15 sanity when eaten. But yeah, this is the best use of morsels and mushrooms that you could get. Additionally, if you're not using any mushrooms for filler, berries are perfect, but like I said, I was a little bit slow on setting up the berry farm, but to be frank, as I've demonstrated here, you don't have to worry too much about that. We are indeed going to get some berry usage. Just taking inventory. Okay, now that we use some ingredients, let's bring some things over here so I have a better idea of how much we've got, what we're looking for. You know what? We do have enough meat to try that out. I guess I can introduce that now. Okay, it may cost a little bit much, but hear me out. Meatballs restore 62 hunger, I believe. Yep, 62.5 hunger. And the tall scotched eggs do something massive. They restore 150 hunger and 60 health. Now I'm going to demonstrate a medium between the two. He requires 3 full units of meat, and the filler can be anything that excludes twigs, mandrakes, eggs, or honey. So in other words, a vegetable will do, or in this case, or another case, a berry will do. Oh, sounds like our marble trees are growing already. Let me put this down here. And boom, we get this. Meaty stew. Meaty stew is purely a hunger meal. It is actually what you will eventually graduate from meatballs. Meatballs restore 62.5. Well, meaty stew is 150 hunger, 12 healing, and 5 sanity. It's mainly a hunger dish, but my goodness, is it massive. It completely fills up most characters in one munch. It's just incredibly useful. The only thing about it is how, you know, in return of how ingredient intensive it is. It's way too early in the first year, and honestly, like I said, you're supposed to be graduating to meaty stews, so yes, even though I'm showing them off now, and we can make a few while we're at it, focus on prioritizing meatballs until, you know, we get other farms going to where it's just much more substantial. In the meantime, much like the tall scotch eggs, it doesn't hurt to make a few just to keep yourself covered. You know? A little hard to see, but it's there. Well, we have the Tambo Chanter, so I don't mind doing this. You know what, since we're here, I want to use it up. Let's just go ahead and use these. It's better to synthesize them now than have to hold on to them. Speaking of which, we have some rebundling we have to do. Let's not be too more frivolous on the usage going on here, because we do have to consider having to go back to the swamp and reacquiring more. Tell you what, I'm gonna leave 2 out here, and then we're going to store these meats for later, and we're gonna leave them in front of the ice chest.